All right, let's talk about Red Dawn.
Yeah, that's right.
Now,
wait, we got an opening here.
Or not.
Or not.
That was awesome.
Here it is.
Basic Cable Classic.
There we go. Thank you. Wow. 1984's Red Dawn.
High
Worth the
production
wait.
values.
couple starters for this. Now, when you TiVo something on TiVo,
Yes.
they have the little synopsis of the movie, which is always fun. Mm-hmm. For Red Dawn, Colorado teens fight back after Soviet-led paratroops drop into town for World War III.
Yeah,
That's the synopsis.
yeah, that sums it up.
Realistic. Mm-hmm. But it was funny because I couldn't rent this yesterday. I couldn't find it, so I went to Best Buy to buy it. Going to the action section, not there. Now I'm panicking. I'm like, where am I going to get Red Dawn? I noticed the war section. Red Dawn right next to Platoon and Saving Private Ryan.
Born on the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah. One of the great war movies of our time, Red Dawn.
Next time you want to find Red Dawn, you just go to Damashek's apartment and you open the door and an avalanche of Red Dawn CDs or DVDs just pour out. I was buried and carried down the street by them.
It's just a small part of my Powers booth wall.
Now, this movie came out in 84. It's pretty dated. I mean, you could make the case it probably cost about $10,000 to make. It's basically a camping movie with a couple explosions.
Yeah.
But Soviet paratroopers land in the middle of nowhere in Colorado. We're not sure how they get there, how we didn't pick them up, how the NORAD missed them.
Right.
Million parachuters. Somehow they got helicopters over from Russia. We're not sure how that happened.
Yeah.
Cuban and Nicaraguans, they're involved.
They've hooked up with South and Central America and Cuba, and now they're all against us.
And they've decided that this small town in Colorado is where they have to drop the bulk of the Soviet army, too, for some reason.
Because if they can control this rural Colorado town, then America will fall afterwards.
Yeah, so once they get hold of bum-F Colorado and Plentywood, Montana, then the rest of the nation falls.
Right.
That's how it works.
So a couple of the high school kids... the Wolverines is the name of the school, but Swayze and Chaz Sheen are brothers, which I think is funny because they're not the same size. They look nothing alike, the different color hair.
Right.
Them and C. Thomas Howe, a couple other people, go in the woods with some ammunition to try to escape. Yeah. They take off. Mm-hmm. And now somehow they know how to use machine guns. We're not sure how that leap happens, where they somehow know how to suddenly be soldiers. That's never really properly explained.
They went hunting with the old man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a few times growing up, so they know all about heavy artillery.
Yeah, now what is our first clip?
Our first clip is most of the people in the town are held in these little mini concentration camps. Mm-hmm. And even though they're hiding in the woods and the KGB is allegedly looking for them, they decide it's a good idea maybe to go down to the concentration camp and see their father.
And they're very casual about moseying into town and then going back
Nobody's
up to the hills.
Nobody's going to notice them.
No.
And their dad, played by Harry Dean Stanton, who's gunning for the Oscar in this clip. And here it is.
Let me look at you. Yeah, I knew I was right. I knew it. You're alive. I was tough on both of you. And I did things that made you hate me sometimes.
Yeah, dry anal rape.
You understand now, don't you?
You understand now?
understand.
He foresaw the attack of the Soviets.
I knew one day the Soviets and the Cubans would hook up and send paratroopers to your high school, and that's why I was rough on you. Yeah, I wonder what my dad's excuse is.
Yeah. Maybe your dad thought World War III was coming to Southern California.
Well, he's got to have some excuse.
Now, this quick one here is probably Shaq's favorite scene. After Harry Dean tells the boys to be quiet and to kind of sneak out.
They're looking for you everywhere.
Walking
you
away.
Get out of here. Dead
They're
silence.
walking away, and Harry Dean, as they're walking away, screams,
Boys! Avenge me! Avenge me!
Yeah.
Hey, old man! Didn't you just say that they're looking everywhere? Keep it down and sneak out of town?
Yes.
Shut your yap, then!
Screaming into the chain link fence, avenge me, with dogs barking
the
in the
Soviet
background.
soldiers, they don't notice this guy screaming, avenge me. They don't think anything's up here.
Bill Simmons, the sports guy from ESPN.com here, by the way, recapping Red Dawn for those of you who just tuned in. Yeah, we skipped past one of my favorite parts, too, where they're at the campfire and Swayze's trying to bark out a few commands, and one of the guys yells, "You're not the quarterback anymore!" I love that.
I had that. And And then they have the fight, and there's the campfire. And the legs kind of go in the campfire a little bit. It gets exciting. You think somebody might catch on fire, but they never do.
Swayze cried like 9 times in this movie, too.
And that's our next clip. You know, really one of the keys to the movie is Pat Swayze. The overacting. I don't think he's ever been better. Maybe he can argue Ghost in terms of his overacting, but
Ghost for mugging, but for just all out bawling, I'd say Red Dawn.
This is where they just saw their father and some other people gunned down, and Swayze's telling everybody else that they got to keep their emotions in check.
Don't cry! Hold it back! Let it turn to something else. Just let it turn to something else, okay? Listen. Don't cry. Don't you ever cry again. As long as you live. As long as you live, never do it.
What a pressure.
You hear me?
Now, the best part is Swayze then starts crying after that whole speech. But
let it turn to something else.
What does that mean?
Let it turn into what?
He's saying take that anger, take that pain, and turn it on the Soviets.
Right.
Which they did because they mounted an offensive attack. I don't want to ruin it, but it is 22 years old. I think I can open my mouth at this point.
You know what's funny is Art Shell said the same thing to the Raiders at halftime last night.
Don't cry.
Let it turn into something else. Didn't turn into anything. Turned into 27-0 loss.
Turn a couple more picks and a goose egg on the scoreboard.
Now, after this movie, a couple things happen. First of all, C. Thomas Howell starts smoking.
Yeah.
Which I guess signifies that he's kind of gone to the dark side and war is really getting to him because now he's trying to smoke.
Became a man after he drank the yak's blood up in the hills. First kill, you know.
He drank that and then he said, wasn't so bad 3 times in a row.
That's
I don't know
right.
if you remember that scene. I almost made the clip section here. Anyway, Powers Booth shows up and we're not sure if he was planted by the Soviets or what the deal is. He's this fighter pilot who explains to them. And he goes to this whole thing about, here's what happened with the war. They hooked up with the Cubans and Nicaraguans. They made it all the way to Kansas. We held them off there. Like, it kind of explain, and it's ridiculous. It's like, really? We couldn't. So now Ace and I are going to reenact.
Oh,
yeah, there's going to be a reenactment.
I'm going to play the
just
role.
Clips.
I'll be Powers Booth.
He is a tour de force in the picture and steals it in my book. So you're going to really have to be up to muster on this.
And let me tell you something. Stealing Red Dawn is not that big of a task. But
so here's and now you're playing.
I'm playing one of the other kids.
Sheen, Swayze.
Yeah.
I can't remember what. Yeah, you're one of the kids. You're not. I don't think you're Swayze. I think
I'm not Swayze or Sheen. I'm one of the other guys who never went on and do anything.
And you want to know what's going on in the war.
I want to know. Well, who's fighting with us now?
Right.
So here we go. Well, who's on our side then?
About 600 million Chinese.
600 million? I thought there were 1 billion Chinese.
There were.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
400 million Chinese.
You channeled Booth.
Yeah, you did.
Good.
Yeah, you did.
You think you're tough because you eat beans?
He yells at these poor, scared teenagers who are living up in the mountain in the dead of winter fighting the Soviet army. They're sitting around just trying to survive on old cans of beans.
We have that.
Oh, we do.
Oh, we have it. Let's go to it.
I stepped on it. Sorry.
You think you're tough? Eating beans every day? There's 500,000 scarecrows in Denver would give anything for one mouthful of what you got. They've been in a siege for about 3 months. They live on rats and sawdust bread and sometimes on each other. At night, the pipes for the dead light up the sky. It's medieval.
Hey, what's for brunch, Dad? Sawdust bread, rats, and each other. Oh, fantastic.
He's yelling at these poor kids. But to be fair, Booth's character, first thing he does when he shows up there is steal the kid's bottle of whiskey that the old man gave him to keep him warm through the winter months. He drinks the entire bottle sitting around the campfire.
And then does that thing at the end where he throws what's left in his tin cup into the fire. And no one, there's a lot, every time in a movie when someone throws something in a fire, no one reacts to it. Like they do that thing where they take a sip of the scotch and they go, and it flames up. and no one goes, "Hey, what the F? You caught my sweater on fire."
So when Booth joins the movie, the cast comes together. Now C. Thomas he's firing that giant missile thing. Like somehow these guys know how to operate all this
stinger.
stuff.
Yeah, he's taking down the Soviet helicopters.
They're fighting the Soviets. Yeah, they're taking down helicopters. And then one of the kids who also played the bad guy in The Outsiders decides to go to the concentration camp, sells them out, eats a bug.
Oh, he ate a bug. Yeah, they followed him, homing device. Yeah.
And they figure out that this guy has sold them out. And this is where Pat Swayze says, I'm going to take this movie to the next level.
I'm going to cry here.
Where is it? Where is it? God damn it! Where's the bug?
They made me swallow it.
Daryl, what have you done?
I went into town.
It got caught. And Witten got caught. Why?
That's why Swayze won the Oscar.
And by the way, that was the take after the director told him to reel it in a little bit. He had bigger. It's just on the floor of the editing room. Yeah, this guy goes to town. They don't miss him, of course. He just walks out of the camp from the mountains, goes
there's
down to
5
town.
of them. They don't notice this guy's gone for 6 hours.
Eats a bug, and now the Soviets can find him.
Yeah.
Richly nuanced.
Then all hell breaks loose.
Did Swayze have to shoot him there?
Swayze kills him. And then
incorrect. C. Thomas House shoots him because Swayze couldn't muster
Swayze
the
kills
courage.
one. C. Thomas kills the other one.
Yeah.
And then it's down to basically Swayze and Sheen who decide, let's go into town and take on everybody all at once where there's no way we can die. And they both get shot and they die. And then the only people who made it were Leah Thompson and this other dude who he was kind of like a fringe member.
Yeah.
And he made it. And
Well, Leah Thompson didn't survive Celebrity Duets, but she survived the war against the Russians?
No.
All I'm saying is before I'm gone, I want to do one movie where at some point I have to hold the gun up to my partner that betrayed me, thinking I should kill him, but I can't squeeze the trigger and hold it, and instead I just go, "Ah!" for a long time, holding the gun sideways, and then I drop the gun. Dave, maybe that'll be you.
I can only hope.
All right, Bill Simmons, a stellar job.
Thank you.
As per usual, ESPN.com is where you find Bill Simmons, the sports guy. Also, Now I Can Die in Peace is the name of his book. It's great. It's out. Go out. Pick that up. Just out in paperback, I hear.